Greetings, Masandawana. Greetings, fans of the Taraji. We are back with another installment of the Yellow Corner, bringing you the preview of the CAF Champions League semi-final second leg fixture as Mamelodi Sundowns host Esperance Sportive de Tunis on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock at Loftus Versfeld. And today I'm joined by my partner in crime, Rapelang Kagiso Mutlong. Raps, how are you?
It's like I'm sharp. Just feel like, hey, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm okay, man. When
You are honestly always tired. You are hardly ever available for match previews, but every time we speak, you are always tired. I am okay. I'm excited. I can't wait for Saturday.
I think I'm always I always have the energy. I'm always fresher when you do the reviews in the morning, but when you do them, hey, afternoon, man, hey, like it's not that energy or channel I'll say.
We do the previews, not the reviews. You are definitely tired. Robs. Oh, by the way, thank you guys for watching the preview of the first leg with my good friend Elias. Yeah, I saw that you guys definitely enjoyed it, and once again, thank you very much to Elias for availing himself. Man, it's a pity that we'll have to wait for next season to record again with him. And yeah, man, thank you guys for supporting us and. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Traps, your thoughts on the first leg?
I think as it was a great game of football, man. I think it was a very competitive game, very exciting game. I think both teams, man, they played very well. More especially, I think in the first half, man, I think Esperance, they put a lot of pressure on us. They tried to get that early goal, man, and they tried so hard, man, to ensure that first half they get a goal. But we were so resilient. We fought as a team, and also we denied them that opportunity to get the goal, man. Because of look at the chances that they created, man. I'm glad that the moments that we showed that we denied them the goals, I think they also played a key role in giving us more positiveness into the game, man. Because of Ronza kept us in the game by making a couple of saves and also those tackles from our defenders, Mudawi as well as Kekar. I think those moments they of us denying them to score, they kept us in the game. And second half, man, I think we came out as a different team. And like first minute of the second half, we created a chance whereby Lunga crossed the ball to Leon, who tried Ailenga hit, and unfortunately it was saved by the goalkeeper of Esperance. So we came out with a different energy second half. We started becoming more effective on the ball position because of first half we had the ball position but we couldn't progress closer to the box of Esperance. But second half it was very different. I think second half we came out with a different energy, and I think the reason why we were so pumped up in the second half, I think Esperance played with too much intensity first half because of they tried to get the goal second half, but second half they dropped a little bit, and that gave us an opportunity to go at them and create better goal scoring opportunities. But I think overall, man, it was a very good collective effort from the team, man, from the technical team, the players who showed up on that night, man. And the goal that we scored, man, I think it was a very brilliant goal. And it is not as easy as it may look on TV because of how Tapelo was able to stretch himself from the left back of the Esperance to create space for himself, and the timing of that diagonal ball from Adams, and how Tapelo connected with that ball first touch as a first touch, man. I think it was brilliant, man. So I'm glad that we managed to get a positive result. Yes, we got a red card, but even if after the red card, man, I think we worked so hard because of they were throwing everything on us, and we ensured that we keep and we protect the scoreline. And also the sub of Batus as well. It played a key role in terms of for us to be stable on the middle field, and also when we are defending without the ball, man.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. I've seen that goal before. I actually saw it 10 years ago.
Live. Yeah.
And I was there
Yeah.
at Moses Mabhida when we scored that goal. For those who don't remember, our final year Telkom knockout 2015 in Moses Mabhida against Kaizer Chiefs. Castro's goal was exactly like that. But coming back to the first leg, man, I thought we were just brilliant, man. I think this was a great win. You know, we showed great. Those boys fought like soldiers on Sunday, you know, and I am so proud of them, including the technical team. You know, so proud of them. I think first half we had the ball possession, but we didn't really use it, you know. And yeah, second half it changed. But with that said, I was still happy with the performance from the first half. You know, I thought we were. I always say I do not like singling out players, you know, but yeah, there are certain players who stood out, you know. I was in the preview, I did say I'm a bit worried because of Grant against Dano, you know, but Grant handled him. Yeah, no, he proper handled him. I think Grant was brilliant on the day, man. He was absolutely magnificent, man. Forget the red card, which I still say he was not a red card. He was absolutely brilliant. So was Keanu. You know, Keanu strikes me as a guy who enjoys these big games. He has proper BMT. You know, you look at him, FIFA Club World Cup. He hadn't played the season before that, the 2023-24 season or 25-24 season. Yeah. And then he was given an opportunity at the FIFA Club World Cup, and he performed so well, man. You know, and as well as Leon, this guy is made for the CAF Champions League. He is proper made for the CAF Champions League. You know, it's a brilliant goal. But there is one player who deserves a special mention. One Batusi Obas.
Yeah.
What was that? What was that performance? What was that cameo Batusi? He was absolutely brilliant. And for him to perform like that when he hasn't played in such a long time. The last time Batusi Obas touched grass was on the 4th of February when we played Gomora United in the Nedbank Cup at Loftus. That was over 2 months ago. And that was the last time Batusi made the match day squad. So you can only imagine mentally how all this affected him. On top of that, he lost his place in his spot in the national team. And this is a few months before the World Cup. So you can only imagine how this affected him mentally. But when the team needed him, he showed that he's a proper professional. You know, what Batusi did on Sunday, man, showed me how it is not easy to buy a professional football player. You know, you do not play for 13 straight games. You don't make the match day squad for 13 straight matches, and then you are called upon in the CAF Champions League semi-final under pressure, away from home, and you need to put your emotions aside and fight for the team, and you do that, man. I take my head off to Batusi, man. That what Batusi did, I will never forget that cameo. Yeah, Batusi, man. He was absolutely solid, man, and big ups to him, man. Perhaps it is definitely advantage Sundowns going into this second leg, but these guys have nothing to lose. What are the dangers of playing against such a team? Because I think that is exactly that they have nothing to lose. So they will fight with everything that they have. They will throw the kitchen sink at Mamelodi Sundowns. Them playing a nil draw is not different to them losing 3-0 on Saturday, because whichever one of those, they are out of the CAF Champions League, and I think they will fight tooth and nail. But we need to match that. We need to uh, forget about playing well. We need to match their work ethic. If they give 100%, we need to give 101 on Saturday. And it is definitely not over, because these guys have shown that they can turn it around. They've shown it. They showed it recently against the biggest team in the continent, Al Ahly, beating Al Ahly 2-3 away from home. And if they repeat that result on Saturday, we are out. If they beat us 3-2 on Saturday, 2-3 on Saturday, we are out. So we need to match everything and forget about what happened last week Saturday. Going to this game as if it is still nil-nil. Eh?
Yeah, no, as I think coming into the second leg, one thing that we shouldn't do as a team is to write these guys off. Yes, we are excited. We got the away goal. It gives us an advantage. But come the second leg, that away goal, man, it might sometimes away goal, yes, it works again, it works for you, but do not show complacency whereby you are now relaxed and you think you have got it and everything is sealed, man. I think we should work hard as much the work rate that we showed in the first leg. We should show it in the second leg with the support of the fans behind us, because of you spoke about they have done it recently against Al Ahly. So it shows these guys are not yet out. They will fight. They will throw everything at us. So it's for us to withstand the pressure that they are going to throw onto us. And coming into this game here, the second leg, man, and one thing that I've witnessed about the CAF Champions League, man, sometimes the tactical ability, it doesn't, it works, man, but what works, like, it is the heart, man, like the hunger to win the game, man, like you like the mindset that I'm going
Yep.
out there, I'm going to work, I'm going to throw everything and leave everything on the pitch, man. That's what the CAF Champions League mostly required. Yes, technically you need to be good, you need to box smart, and you need to ensure that your tactics on the pitch, you are able to implement them and execute them very well so that you are able to get positive results. But CAF Champions League, man, it is a different ball game, man. Like, we have seen teams. I'll make example like Sundowns. We've seen Sundowns being one of the best teams in Africa, playing the best football, hammering CR Belouizdad at Algeria by 4 goals, and being a superior team in the continent, but failing to win the CAF Champions League. But the teams that wins the Champions League are the teams that have different work ethic, man. So even as on the second leg, I think that will be required, man. Yes, we are a team that there's tactical flexibility in our team, but we should leave everything on the team. We should play and fight for this badge, man.
Absolutely, absolutely. If I'm Cardoso, I'm not doing any coaching on Saturday. I'm playing my players, the clip here, the yellow corner, who make them listen to what you've just said. And the North Africans are the worst side that you can play in at this stage of the tournament, because their mentality is second to none. They will fight. They will give everything in this match. And if there's one thing that Elias said in the first leg about their new coach, Patrick Guamel, is that if there's one thing that this guy has changed, is the mentality of the players. Forget the tactics, but mentally here, that's one thing that is changed. And the jersey that you are wearing reminds me of how we were knocked out in that CAF Champions League, where everyone who enjoys football thought this was Sundowns' year. I will never forget that drive from Loftus to the East End, man, because it was a painful one, man. Let's get into the game yesterday. Thoughts and expectations.
I think you're expecting an entertaining game, and I think the first leg gave us something to look up for in the second leg, man. So I think it will be a very entertaining game. I think Esperance, they are coming here to win the game because of the only way they could progress into the final or to eliminate Mamelodi Sundowns is to outscore us, is to score many goals than Mamelodi Sundowns. So they will try and duplicate what they did in Egypt, man. Like throw everything into the opponent and try to see how the opponents react. And one thing about this North Africans, man, when they see that they don't have space to penetrate through the middle, the only way to get closer to the box of the opponent is to play that long ball, man. Playing that long ball, it gets them closer to the box of the opponent, and that's where they want to create goal scoring opportunities. Because of the closer you get to the box of the opponent, the more you are likely to create goal scoring opportunities. And because of sometimes when they see they don't have other alternatives in terms of how they maneuver through the game and to get those chances, their only way is to get fouls, man. Like the goal that was disallowed because of VAR, it was a foul. They played a set piece. Unfortunately, the VAR overturned that decision. The goal that eliminated Sundowns when he played with that, when Mvala scored an own goal, it was a set piece. So it shows playing against North Africans, try to minimize the set piece in the danger zone because of that's where most of their clinical or better goal scoring opportunities might come from. But once you deny them those set pieces, that means you minimize the chances that they are likely to create. And I think Esperance, looking at their first leg, when they analyzed their first leg, they saw most of their chances came from the left side of Divine Lunga. Not because of Lunga was terrible, but how they managed to overload that side and how it was very difficult for Lunga sometimes to try to stop them from attacking. Because if you look at on our right side, we had Tapelo, we had Mudau. Sometimes if Mudau is out of position, we know that Tapelo is played as a right back. He knows the primary duties of the right back as well, and he was able to assist with the defensive duties. But in terms of Lunga most of the time he was alone and isolated because of it was very difficult, or Sales couldn't drift wide to ensure that he keeps the right back of Esperance at bay so that he doesn't travel and they don't overload the side of Lunga. And I think this Esperance guys, I think whether they will try to apply that high pressure. I think applying that high pressure, it might work for them and it might work against them because of it might work for them because of applying the high pressure. It shows their intention is to win the ball high up on the pitch and get closer to the goal post and maybe create chances. But sometimes applying that high pressure against Sundowns, you take a risk because of once we escape that high pressure, we are able to find spaces behind the press and progress with the ball and create goal scoring opportunities. But as for us, Sundowns, I think Ronald Williams will also be key in this game, not just keeping us on the game, but how he's able to find players once we regain the possession back, maybe from a corner kick or maybe from a set piece. So it will be very influential in terms of finding the players at the right place with his distribution. Uh, I think Cardoso might start Cupido with Daman. I think Cupido was tested on Sunday, but he showed he can stand tall and he can face whatever that they throw at him. I hope in this game he will hold Daman's hand and work together with Daman and form a good partnership on that day. Because of once we get the pairing right and the partnership right between Daman and Cupido, that means we tend to have the advantage of us being able to play with the ball in terms of progressing from the build-up phase, and also we will be able to uh, stand everything that they throw at us. And in this game, I think Cardoso might play a two-man midfield. I think he might start Mukwena with Allende and play another attack, Mukwena with Adams, and play another attacker that will be closer to Leon, because of what I've witnessed about the three-man midfield. Yes, it gives you protection, it gives you ball position, but the possibilities of you getting to the final third as soon as possible, like they are not there, or they are very slim, because of sometimes in the first league they will have to drive, push with the ball so that he gets closer to Leon, and that's not how we normally play, but that's what the game required on that night. So I will not fault the coach, but having someone between the middle field and Leon, that means that person will be able to link our attack from the middle field into the front line, yeah, Leon. So I'm hoping that we'll have someone behind Leon. And lastly, as well, like, again, I'm gonna repeat this thing, unnecessary false man. Like that like I still have Antigone. I get some flashbacks from how we have considered from unnecessary set pieces. So those are my expectations. But lastly, I want the boys to fight. This is an opportunity for the boys to create their own legacy. It is now or never, as well. Like, this is the opportunity for the boys to go all out and get to the final. Yes, last year we got to the final, but unfortunately, we didn't win the CAF Champions League. I hope the failure that we took last season, I hope it will be a motivation to these boys, because of they sometimes losing it is nice, because of it teaches something to learn when you go to another next step. So I believe the fail that you got into the CAF Champions League last season, it will become a lesson into the second leg of the CAF Champions League, guys.
Great analysis, Raps. Great analysis, man. It shows that when people sit on the bench, the next time they come back, they perform. Allende was benched and then he came back and started performing. So you are doing an Allende. We've been doing this since 2020, for 6 years. I've never seen you this. Yeah. I've never ever seen and heard you this pumped up before the game. I think you should be in the dressing room on Saturday. Hey, but you spoke about a divine man. Hey, I don't know, even divine intervention could help him on Sunday, man. He was No, man, he had a terrible first half, like Onakula trap divine,
Yeah.
and but second half, man, he was much more improved. Yeah, he was seeing bad things in that first half, man. He getting caught out of possession, playing the wrong passes and stuff like that. But second half, to be fair to Mjitano, he came back a different person. Perhaps I do not expect any complacency from our boys on Saturday because of the scars of the past in this tournament. This tournament has hurt us, it has hurt our players, it has hurt our coaches, and we know we can't afford to be complacent on Saturday, because if we are, we will be crying once again come at the 90th minute. I want us to start the game exactly how Al Ahly started the second leg, their quarter final against these guys in Cairo. Anyone who watched that game, the first half, will tell you that Al Ahly should have and finished that game first half, because they created so many goal scoring opportunities. But I want us to be more clinical than they were. And you look at how clinical we are in the Champions League. That gives me hope. If we get the same chances as Al Ahly, we will take them in the first half, And I want us for me, the most important thing is to get that first goal on Saturday. We need to get that goal and dent their hopes, because now they have no option but to add more numbers, trying to get 2 goals, And in so doing, Sundowns will always find spaces and punish you, man. I do not think, Corey, they will go gung-ho from the first whistle, I think they will apply a bit of caution, more so in the first 20 minutes of the game. And I think we should also apply the same type of caution. Yes, attack and try to get that goal that will kill off their hopes. But be cautious, because if there's one of the few things that I saw on Saturday that almost hurt us was how quick these guys moved the ball from back to front, and they almost caught us napping. That last minute sliding tackle, Grant saved us. And there were a few balls like that, so we need to be switched on. Our rest defense needs to be proper on Saturday, guys. The one thing that has been an issue for me since Cardoso took over is how our rest defense, how poor our rest defense has been, I need it to be at its best. I need our rest defense to be as good as our offside trap. How we've mastered the art of the offside trap. I'm not a fan of the offside trap, but we've mastered it. Like we are in sync when it comes to the offside trap. I need our rest defense to be the same on Saturday. And the other thing that you mentioned, how quickly when they struggle to play through the thirds, build up through the thirds, they go route one. If you go back to the goal that they scored when we played them here at home 2 years ago, when it was raining at Loftus, when they knocked us out, it was that type of goal. Played a long ball, bounced, and then they were in the final third capitalized. So we need to make sure that we do not let them create chances from situations like that. And most importantly, the thing that you mentioned, Raps, these set pieces. You can never say, I'm going to make sure there's no corner or there's no free kick in the match. No, match situation dictate at times and they lead to them. But you need to try and minimize them as much as you can, because I can tell you, if we give these guys these set pieces on Saturday, they might just hurt us. Let's go into the lineups. Your lineup?
I'll have Ronwen, then my back four, I'll have Kudiso, Cupido, Damane. I think Mudiba will be back. I'll have midfield 2, I'll have Adams with Tebza. Then my front four, I'll have Tapelo, Salis, Matthews, and Leon.
For the first time, probably this season, we have the exact same lineup. I'm also going with Adam Silitebza middling with Salis just in front of them. And I think this is, by injuries, I think this is the lineup that Cardoso might go with. Score prediction?
We'll win 3-1.
I think we'll win by the same margin of goals, 2, but I think it will be 2-0. And yeah, man, thank you guys for watching, man. Message to the friends, guys, this is one game we need to be at the stadium as early as possible. On Monday morning, Elias sent me a message and told me that there's a huge contingent of Esperance supporters coming to this game, and we know they will make their presence felt, with flares, and they will be there to cheer their boys on. I think we need to apply the same, be at the stadium as early as possible, and make sure an hour to kick off or so. By the time the boys come in for the warm-up, we are there, and they can see we are there to back them, and yeah, man, make the atmosphere as intimidating as possible for Esperance, not with anything bad, but show them we are there to support our boys. Good luck to the technical team and good luck to the boys. And yeah, man, take us to the promised land. Until next, the next preview will be next week, Monday. It will be the preview of our birthday premiership Game Week 24 fixture as we host the struggling wine boys, Stellenbosch. Until next time, Shap Shap Masandawana, Shap Shap Raps.
Shap Shap Aizu, Shap Shap Masandawana.